The regular December meeting to order. John, if you would, lead us in a word of prayer, please.
Absolutely. Y'all, please pray with me. Dear Lord, we thank you for this beautiful afternoon that you blessed us with. Lord, we thank you for this organization that you put us in charge of. And Lord, we ask the decisions that we make regarding that organization are pleasing in your sight. And we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, we've got, tonight we're going to change up the agenda a little bit. We've also got Tamika and Blake on Zoom. Can they see us and we can't see them? Is that the situation? Okay. All right. So going to open with item number 2, approval of the minutes from the regular scheduled November 13th meeting. It was all in everybody's packet. I hear a motion that we approve the November meeting minutes as presented, unless if there's any changes or alterations.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. I'm going to take that to be unanimous with Tamika.
Be a good pen.
New one?
They can't say we waste money on pens, can they?
Right.
You got a lot of writing to do tonight. I know that one.
Okay.
All right.
My hand to mix that. No, I'll tell you, all right.
Oh, I'm not
We'll
gonna
use it.
I won't take it.
We'll share it.
Here's one that's working.
Okay, yeah, here's one.
That would work.
That big old.
I'm getting Blake to put a little more money in the budget for next year for better pens.
How would y'all open during the week?
10 until 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
Not Sunday, Sunday.
All right. Moving on, we're going to jump ahead to item number 6, which is the October financial reports. Blake, I'm assuming you're somewhere around.
I'm here. I hope you can hear me okay.
We got you, yeah.
Good, good. Well, I appreciate you guys letting me be remote tonight. I'm on vacation with my wife, and so it's good to have this technology and be able to join you remotely. For the October 31 financials, I want to start on page 6 and take a look at our profit and loss. Very similar to the results of this time last year, a year ago. October is a shoulder month for us. We had a net loss of $3,568 across the departments. Electric had a loss of $62,091 compared to $40,000 loss this time last year. Gas and electric did a flip-flop. Gas made $61,497 and did better than this time a year ago. So those were very comparable to last year. Water, we had a loss of $22,349 and a gain in sewer of $19,375. Looking at the month-end November sales report, it does look much better for November. So I expect better results in the November financials.
Let me ask one question. Let me ask a question.
Yes, sir.
Why was there such a loss in electric? I know we had one in 22, but you look back at 20, and we were in really good shape that year.
We in 2020 we were still getting the base billing credits from PMPA. Those have since expired, so our cost of electricity has gone up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I would. We were probably getting about $75,000 a month, so it probably would have been almost a break even, or maybe we might have been getting a little bit more in 2020. I could go back and tell you exactly, but we did get those for about 2.5 years and have since That's been cut off through PMPA. Moving over to the budget reports, our capital asset budget, we did have quite a bit of expenditures in October. We got some transformers in that a little bit earlier than we anticipated, which is okay. That's good news. But we are still under budget for our capital asset budget, $191,000 year to date, or 5%. And moving over to our O&M and G&A totals on page 14, we were almost $400,000 under budget for the month of October, 14%, and $3.4 million under budget, or 12.4% year to date. I'll be glad to answer any questions if anyone has any on the October financials.
We have any equipment yet to come in for 2023 that hadn't come in yet? Trucks or anything, or has all that been done so far for this year?
Yeah, all the equipment purchases that we expected in 2023 have been completed.
Okay.
There were some things that we have ordered that just haven't come in yet, but
Hydraulic pump replacement, almost 19,000. Was that planned, or was it just one of those things?
which one you talking about?
Clearwater Inc.
Yeah, that was part of the capital budget for the sewer. Clearwater.
Yeah, as I remember, that was a fairly old, and it just needed to be replaced.
Anybody have any other questions on the checks over 1,000?
I can't pull them up. What they want over about cement in the Hunter Industrial Park?
Say what now?
Concrete for Hunter Industrial Park is like 320.
100,000, 300-something.
That was for the Hunter Industrial Park substation, for the electric substation, the foundation,
Concrete costs that much?
a lot of concrete. A lot of concrete. You remember how thick the base is on that?
More underground than you see above the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
Every one of those steel structures has a concrete base to it that you see going up out there. And they're down several feet in the ground.
Any other questions? Not, do I hear a motion that we accept the October financials as presented?
So moved.
All in favor, raise your right hand. That passes. All right, we're going to move now to item number 11, recommendation to approve the 2024 budget as previously presented. And we've had, I guess, 2 opportunities to review that, one at the planning meeting and the one last month's meeting. Does anybody have any questions on the budget for 2024? If not, do I hear a motion that it be accepted as presented?
So moved.
Second it.
All in favor, raise your right hand. That's going to pass also.
I'd just like to say one thing. I've been reading online, a lot of big companies going to it, and I seen Clinton went to it. I'd like to see the leased employees get a bigger percentage of the raise be considered when y'all do that next year? And because it costs everybody the same for a gallon of gas to get to work, and it does everybody in Red. So I'd like to see some of the lower paid employees give, like the 5 and like Linda done, 3 or 4, all that. Thank you.
We can take that under consideration.
Take it under consideration, yes, sir.
All right, that puts us back on schedule now. We'll go down to item number 3, the divisional reports. John, thank you, Blake.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
You want to handle reports real quick?
Yeah, we're gonna do those. On the administrative, report, we, filled the cashier position. Courtney Flowers was hired for that recently. And we've got, Patty's retiring tomorrow. And then Chris Dawkins will be retiring at, the last Friday of the month, the 29th. And, we met with the NISC to discuss some of the legacy software and the transition that we'll be doing next year. And we've received some compliments from the community about the updated Christmas decorations, and the maintenance department gets a big thank you for handling the update and putting all those up and keeping them going during the Christmas season. In accounting, they're preparing to close out the year and get ready for the audit after first of the year. Electric department, they've switched over from Fleming to East Main Street where they're trimming trees. They installed an underground service, replaced a few poles here and there around town. We continue working on the TANLIS and the outage management system. And if you remember, we had a infrared study done back in the summer. We always do that in the summer so that the system's under the biggest load. And they've completed all those repairs for issues they found then. I had a couple of repairs on different circuits. We've ordered transformers and feed-through cabinets for the subdivision, Gibson Grove. And we've started assembling the steel structures at the new substation at the Hunter Park. And the AluPress upgrade that was mentioned last month, that was completed in November. At least our part was completed in November. And we've ordered a lot of the stuff we need for the expansion at the Hunter Industrial Park for the new building. And they attended a career day, and a couple of CDL tests were done. If you have any questions, just stop me at any point. Otherwise, I'll just keep going here. In the natural gas division, they continue to do taps, and they did 11 taps last month. We've got quite a few of those coming in fairly steady. All through the summer and everything. Used to, you only saw taps usually in the fall and the winter, but they seem to be coming in year round now. They repaired some leaks, continue to remove the inactive taps and meters, and they replaced about 40 of our warning signs up 14 on the 8-inch and down Green Pond Road on the 10-inch high pressure mains. And they did some testing this month to keep us compliant in the natural gas department. Water and sewer, they had 3 leaks and repaired those. They made a couple of taps for the sewer and 1 new water tap. They had to do a repair on River Street. We had another hydrant that was hit on Conway Avenue, and it was able to be repaired. And they're continuing on the water service line inventory, and they're probably about 75% finished with that. They're starting section E, and they've got most of that section left to go, and then they'll have section F. So they're planning to be finished by late winter or by the spring anyway on that. So we'll finish. We're on schedule for what we wanted to do, but it'll be well before the deadline that they have on that. And work's continuing on the new water tank site up on Dean Drive.
We started up there?
They've done some surveying and they just cleared a little ways in there so they could get in and that. So that's about all they've done.
They've been working on the engineering side of it for a while.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Anybody got any questions? All right, that brings us to item number 4, the public forum session, and as our routine, there's not much public here tonight. All right, item number 5, recommendation to approve the community change match. John?
Okay, as it has been the custom for several years now, we've got our community change program where we round up the customers that elect to do that to the next dollar every month. And we collect that money and put it in a separate account. And it's been our tradition that whatever the customers raise, that CPW matches that. And I am told that that amount is $3,116 that we would contribute to go with what the customers have given. So we would recommend that we do that again this year.
We've been doing that for a long time, haven't we?
Long time.
And the money goes to the Baptist Crisis Center?
It does, yeah.
All right.
And you have to be a CPW customer to get the money.
Yes, sir.
All right, do I hear a motion that we approve the community change match?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. That's going to pass. All right, that brings us now to item number 7. We have some guests from Lawrence County Museum. John?
Yes, we have 2 guests here, and I don't know which of you plan to speak, but I understand there is an anonymous donor that has contributed a fairly large sum of money and will match a fairly large sum of money. And they have been around the community talking to various people, and I think they would like to speak. Or are you going to?
Teresa has a little PowerPoint.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
To talk about, show you what we're
Sorry,
doing.
got ahead of myself here.
I haven't been to bother y'all in a long time.
You're no bother.
You're never a bother, never.
We're saying that.
Can I take it over there?
It may reach over there.
So just in case you don't know, I am Teresa Noble. I am the current president of the board of directors. And it's been my honor to act in that capacity so far. And Deborah, of course, is on the board, and y'all probably know her from many years back. So the first thing I want to say is that we so much appreciate all the support you've given us over the years. You probably are the most supportive organization that we have that helps us. So thank you so much for that. We couldn't do what we do without that type of support. So I just wanted to bring you up to date on what's happening at the museum, what's been going on and what is coming up. So how many of you, raise your hand if you've been to the museum in the last 4 months.
They had the.
Okay, yeah, you had your party there. Were you able to go through the exhibits at all? Well, anyway, if you haven't seen the exhibits, you need to come see. I have to say that it is not your regular small town museum. I mean, the other one was fun, it was interesting, but we really feel like that we're, above the bar with most of it. So one of the things that happens at the museum is that it's a gathering place for many groups, such as the Ann Pamela Cunningham Garden Club, or the Genealogy Society. They meet every month, and we have other groups that meet maybe on a less regular basis. It's also a place where many nonprofit groups and organizations use our facilities for their events and meetings, besides those times when you rent the Magnolia Room. Some of the organizations are the Rotary Club and the County Disabilities and Special Needs Boards, but that's just to name a few. Also, one fun thing is that people have started gathering there, little groups, card-playing groups. They come every Friday and play golf. Don't ask me what that is. And then we have a group of knitters and a group of other hand workers, and the building just rings with activity and fun and laughter. And Deborah, you chip in. I'd like to say that we try to work with the rest of the square and any of the community plans that are going on. I don't think I put anything up there about that wedding, but we try to be a part of everything. We try to serve the community. And here's some more community work that we do. Another thing that we do, and I'm sure you know this, is that we have lectures, and everybody knows that Durant Ashmore lectures there a lot, and he will continue to do so with his American Revolution lectures. But we've had many, many other lecturers and plan to have more. One of the best things that we've had going on this year is that we received a grant, the Cherokee, from the South Carolina Arts Commission, the Cherokee tribe, and we are working together to present this celebrating Native American traditions past and present. We had 2 Saturdays in October where we had presenters and arts and crafts people there and some hands-on. We're having one more in March that I'll mention in a few minutes, but we're also working with the schools that there will be a chance for the related arts group to take, or the teachers to take their 4th graders to the tribal grounds for a wonderful activity. We also have Jim Brinson, who is teaching his art classes now in our basement as opposed to the old artist coop basement. And one of our favorite things that we've got starting right now, we've already been working on it, is our Martha Franks exhibit. And it's sort of in 2 places right now. And a lot of people think of her as a missionary, but we want to highlight her community service. She fed people. She clothed people. She had many, many things going on in her life. So we've got that happening now. We're also highlighting the Palmetto Bank. Got a temporary exhibit there if you haven't seen it. We're also trying to learn. We're trying to get better. All of us on the board are not museum people. And so we're going to conferences and workshops, and we're also providing training for our volunteers. And everything that's happening at the museum right now is done by 2 staff members and volunteers, which is pretty awesome.
And you're part-time staff.
The staff are part-time, yeah. But we've got lots of volunteers who are doing lots of things. Some people are working from home. I think last year we had about 3,000 volunteer hours, and we were not even counting all the stuff that people do at home outside of being physically in the museum. And I believe that it'll probably reach about 4,000 hours or more this year when we start tallying it up. So here are a few things that are coming up, and you can check our website because I know you won't remember everything. But on Tuesday, January the 9th, there's going to be a lecture hosted by the Henry Lawrence chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution. On Tuesday, January 16th, we've got Durant Ashmore, who is telling me that this is going to be an adults-only lecture, that he's going to be talking about the viciousness of the American Revolution from all parties. On Tuesday, January 30th, Karen Bloom is going to give us a lecture about Lucy Banbury. Lucy Banbury was an escaped slave, enslaved person from Middleton Plantation, and she secured her freedom. And this is a very interesting story, and I hope that you'll take the time to come. On Sunday, February 4th, will be the grand opening of our Martha Franks exhibit. We'll have a few program-wise things going on, as well as the exhibits.
We're working with Martha Franks Retirement Center on this.
Yes, we are. Don McManus is going to do a lunch and learn. He is the man who wrote the book about Martha Franks, One Link in God's Chain. And on Monday, February 12th, there's going to be a first-person historical interpretation by Karen Bloom, and it will be about Katie Green, who was the wife of General Nathaniel Green. So it kind of works around with our American Revolution. And on Tuesday, February 13th, there'll be another lecture by Durant, and that topic is to be announced. Saturday, February 17th, this has been changed since I created this, but we're going to be having a grand opening of a quilt exhibit. And the quilt exhibit will have multiple facets to it. We will be actually borrowing a quilt that was made by Andrew Johnson and Sarah Word from the State Museum. And Saturday, March the 2nd, is the grand opening of our newly renovated First Nations Hall. And during that time, we will have archaeologists on hand to help identify any of your artifacts, any of the public's artifacts. While I'm talking about that, I'll have to kind of give you that we don't want too widely known yet. We've had many archaeologists to come, and they are working with us and coming to visit to see what we've got. And apparently, we are the owners, or the museum is the owner of the best Native American artifact collection in the Southeast. In fact, several of them have told us the only things that they've seen better were at the Smithsonian. So,
Say a little bit. So, I don't know if some of y'all remember years ago, probably in 2013, Robbie Bell and I came to ask you to participate and donate toward buying the Crawford collection, which was a big, I mean, that was a real step for us. We feel like it was the thing to do, and obviously it was, because the reason we were offered that collection at the price we were offered it was because of the collection of Lawrence County that we had, which was much bigger than most others in small museums and even large museums. And so we were able to purchase that collection over 4 years because of people and institutions from all over Lawrence County and outside of Lawrence County who contributed to that. It cost $100,000 over 4 years, and that just, it appraised at $400,000. So we were given the opportunity to purchase something, but because of that collection, we were, Tommy Charles, who was a state archaeologist, retired state archaeologist, donated his collection to us, which is just as big as Dr. Crawford's collection. And then Tony Harper, who we acquired his from his children after he passed away. But the reason we got the $1 million donation from Tony before he passed was because of these Native American collections, and they were so important to him. But we also have in our archaeology lab, the Piedmont Archaeological Studies Trust collection, which is just for study, and that came from Wofford. So I just want to tell y'all, thank you for your vision and supporting us and getting that collection, because it's really paying off. We have volunteers who come weekly from Lexington and Aiken and all around the state to come help with our Native American collection, and it's just much bigger than I could have ever imagined. So I just thank you.
They've been cataloging and reorganizing, and it's more of an educational experience than it was. It was interesting if you'd been in there before, but it's a totally different experience, and there are other things that are happening. As you see, March 2nd is our grand opening of that. So I hope that you'll visit if you haven't already. What did I do? Oh, okay. And then March 16th is the Saturday that I was talking about, that is our final Native American Traditions Past and Present Day. We are also, those are some of the things that are just coming up in the next couple of months. We've got lots more coming up, but we're also beginning to plan for our part in the American Revolution historical sesquicentennial. That's when the Declaration of Independence was signed 250 years ago. Yeah, I'm getting tongue-tied here. So we'll be working with that. We'll be making we'll be creating an exhibit. This is in planning stages now. We'll have a museum professional working with us. We will be the hub for the driving tour and other activities related to that celebration in our county. We're also working in the planning stages of a new Rosemont exhibit, and again, we're working with another museum professional to get that going. Now, the fundraising update. So, you know, we're always trying to find some way to raise money, because we're a membership organization, but we don't quite get as many members as we want to, although we have some really, really big contributing members. But so one of the things that happened recently was a private person who prefers to remain anonymous offered us $10,000, and she wanted it to be a matching grant. This is the last thing that I know. I think we'd gone just a little over $9,000 in matching it. But since then, we've also had someone else who's added another $1,000 to it. So our matching target amount is $11,000. And honestly, you know, that's pretty much operating expense. It might not even be operating expenses. And we have lots of things that we're going to do, as you see, that cost money. I do want to tell you about a couple of things that we are feeling that are our most important needs. And don't go out, this is what I don't want you to go out and tell people, that we, until we get this, our security needs to be upgraded enormously. Because we've been told that Native American artifact collection by itself approaches $2 million in value. And so we are specifically trying to raise funds for outside cameras, inside cameras, sensors, window security film, and that's going to cost us a lot of money. We'll probably have to do it in little bits and pieces. We have an audio-visual presentation need, big time.
I didn't realize that.
If you've ever been to, lately, if you've been to a lecture or something, we've got extension cords running this way and that. So we're needing to upgrade our system so that presenters don't have to be in danger of death just because they're there. And then another thing is we have an old printer that everybody hates. It gets a lot of bad language directed toward it. And so we also need a printer that will accomplish other things than just, pressing a button and a copy comes out. So those are the main things that we are thinking about that we need. But I also want you to know it's fun to work at the museum. We have a lot of fun. We feel like we are doing a good service for the community, and we want everybody to be involved. So that's all that I have to say, and we'll be glad to answer any questions. Maybe I talked too long.
I'm assuming you do have a security system in place. It just needs to be upgraded. Is that what you're talking about?
Right now we have Protect on our doors. But, somebody could come in and get what they want before the police can get there. So one of the things that we need is the cameras. The biggest thing is the cameras. Yeah. Yes, we've talked to about 4 different agencies about helping us provide that security.
Just out of curiosity, I'm sitting here listening about the security situation. Any thought about putting a little small sign on the door when you enter, you're under video surveillance?
We actually do have something that says alarm will sound if you go out this door, which it won't, but and then we have thought about putting your under security. Actually, maybe putting up some fake cameras too.
Well, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
They do help. It does help. It does make a difference sometimes. But I was just curious.
Well, one of the things
I won't put that in the paper.
No, please don't. One of the things that we found out from I think it's the Lexington County Museum, they had some people that came in and just, came to visit and took stuff and
Came back, there was a nice young man, came in one week and he looked around and had a good time. And he came back the next week and asked if it was okay to take pictures. And they don't have an elevator, so he went upstairs to the Native American room and came back down, said thank you, and walked out. And he had targeted exactly what he wanted the most. Yeah. So, and we do when people are in just regularly. We've got docents or volunteers who are there and watching and that kind of thing. But we definitely, and we're working with, we've brought at least 3 security systems.
Connie talked to somebody else, but Chief Groundsel came over also with someone who is more familiar with security and gave us lots of good advice about what to do just as preventative measures. And but even he said, by the time they get the alarm, if somebody has targeted something, they're gone. And we've also realized that especially since we have that event space, we need cameras up there during events because we've had several things that it would be nice if we'd had proof that what had happened.
We did have one. We know one thing that's been stolen from the museum. And I'm laughing because we have these little owls around the museum that are hidden for children to find. And one of the owls is gone.
We're more concerned actually with behavior sometimes. With
Lady at Dollar General up on West Main told me years ago, people smart. They find out where those cameras are. I said they'll bring they bring a big pocketbook in there and they go back out to washing detergent and they fill up what they got, stop back on, set it down, walk out the door.
Thank you. It's a good question.
Yeah, we really appreciate the support you've given us in the past, and I'm not too proud to beg. I'm a teacher, so teachers beg for everything.
We appreciate y'all coming. We appreciate the presentation. We've got to check just to see where we stand on some things, but we'll be back in touch.
Thank you so much for
How
listening.
much have you raised so far?
It's a little over 9,000.
9. So the goal is 11.
Yes. But, we'll take more.
What was y'all having Sunday night was a week ago?
There was a birthday party, a
item number 8, recommendation to approve resolution 23-05 dealing with some safety manuals. John?
Okay, as it has been our tradition for many years also, this time of year we adopt the various safety manuals that each department uses for the coming year. And this is just something that just kind of covers us to make sure that everyone's aware of the fact that these are the official safety manuals that we observe.
All right. Anybody got any questions?
That's the same thing we do every year, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Your motion, we adopt resolution 23-05 as presented.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. That's going to pass. Thank you. All right, that brings us to item number 9, resolution 23-06, with this authorizing our customer service manager executing an agreement with the Office of the Governor dealing with low-income home energy assistance program.
Okay, this is another one, kind of a boilerplate thing that we do every year. It has to do with the state debt set-off system, where when someone leaves our utility owing money, we have the ability to go back and garnish their state income tax return to offset that debt. And every year we have to get a resolution authorizing our customer service manager to send out letters and do all the things that are required to accomplish that.
All right, any questions? Discussion? I hear a motion we adopt resolution 23-06 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Everybody in favor, raise right hand. That's going to pass also.
How much we usually get on that? Pretty good deal.
I don't know off the top of my head. Do you? I want to say about $20,000. 20. It kind of, varies a little bit here and there.
Your pen going bad too. These cans are, Blake got these pens at the Jockey Lot out there.
Should be down at the bottom, John.
All right, John, brings us to item number 10, the customer service survey results, top 10 accomplishment and year-end goal update.
All right, I'm going to breeze through this really quickly. Basically the same format that we've done every year. First one is we want our electric rate to be below the state or within 10% of the state average. And very pleased to announce that our green grid rate is significantly less than the state average. The natural gas rate also, we want it to be within 5%, and our natural gas rate is actually a good bit less than the state average there. Yes, sir.
One thing in item number 1.
Yes.
Is the state average $14.17 per kilowatt?
That's a typo there. 14.17 cents per kilowatt hour.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. then we wanted the customer satisfaction. We wanted an overall rating of at least 85%, either satisfied or satisfied. And you'll see in just a minute, the overall was 87%, so we beat that by a little bit there. We wanted to keep the recordable accidents to below the national average for industries our size, and we were about half of what the industry standard is. We did have 2 accidents, one fairly major and one minor accident. So, of course, any is too many, but in our line of work, there are going to be some issues from time to time.
When we have accidents, do we drug test?
Depends. If it involves a motor vehicle, we do. We wanted our unmetered natural gas losses to be below, again, the national average, 2.5% per year, and we're hovering right at that, but we are under that amount. We wanted overtime to be 5% or less of our regular hours, and right now it's about 2% of our regular hours. And we wanted our employees to miss no more than 40 hours during the year for illnesses, excluding, if somebody's in the hospital for an extended period. And right now that's 19.5 hours, so a good bit less than that. And then we wanted our reliability of our electric system to be better than the national average of 99.5423. And our average is 99.989. And that's, if you look at all of the hours in a whole year, how much the customers have electricity during those hours. And finishing up here, we want to be in compliance with all regulatory agencies, and at the moment we are. And finally, each division, we wanted to spend no more than budgeted, and as Blake mentioned earlier, we are under budget in all areas. So anyway, that's it for that. Going to do our kind of our little top 10. Now, y'all saw a little preview of this, so I act really surprised when you see this. Every year this time we do a kind of year in review and kind of look at the top 10 accomplishments or things that happened this year. We've got a new 600,000 square foot spec building that we've been working very diligently to get all the utilities connected up to that building. Well, it's actually just a pad now, it's not a building yet, but to get all the utilities there. Like I said, we wanted to be better than the national average when it comes to electric reliability, and we are. And we wanted significantly less OSHA recordable accidents than the industry average, which, as I just said, we are. The substation at Hunter Industrial Park is about 70% complete and currently on schedule. And then the CPW received 3 major safety awards this year, 2 for our electric division and 1 for our natural gas division. So overall, I think we're doing a really, really good job as far as safety goes. As I mentioned earlier, we had 543. I'm going to get a little more specific into this with the next presentation. But overall, our customers rated us either satisfied or very satisfied with the CPW. And then just as I mentioned, the 11th year in a row, our natural gas rate is below the state average. And also for the 11th year in a row, our electric rate is below the state average. And I think I got it right on that one, Parker. Number 2, we have been awarded, we haven't received all the money yet, but we have been awarded an unprecedented $16.5 million in grants for our water system, electric system, and natural gas systems this past year. And then number 1, we are very, very close to settling our about 5-year litigation at the PMPA level. Judith, we're going to hopefully we're going to pass a resolution after executive session. However, I can't tell you any details about it until all parties have signed, so.
That's what Joel said.
Anyway, this,
I already asked.
yeah, so basically the same thing that Tom asked for at Clinton City Council is what we're doing. Okay, what have I got next on here, Mr. Chairman? Customer service survey results. Okay, again, last year we started this different type of survey where right now we've got, about 3,300 individual emails from our customers, email addresses. And so we send out this survey. It's a system called Survey Monkey. And it goes out to all these 3,300 customers. And out of that 3,300, we received 546, which is a really good return rate for a survey like this. So we feel real good about the number of people that responded. And we asked them a lot of different questions. And what I've done here is kind of group what the response was last year versus what we got this year. We did not ask this particular question last year, but we thought it would be interesting to know how they have communicated with the CPW over the past year, and you can kind of see the things. I think this was in your packet if you want to really get down and look at the stuff. We asked if they thought that our employees were friendly and professional. As you can see here, we got really good results there. There's always going to be a few that disagree with that, but that's kind of part of it. We wanted to know if they thought our employees were concerned about safety, and again, we felt really good about the ratings there. And then we asked if they thought that our utility services were a good value. Pretty good results there. The CPW's policies are fair and appropriate. I think overall, people agree with that. And then we asked about our reliability, and we got really good marks there. And then we asked about good quality drinking water. We'd always like this to be a little bit higher, but I think overall it was good. We asked if CPW is a positive influence in the community, and again, I think the majority of the customers feel that we are. And then, as I said earlier, overall, how satisfied are you with the CPW? And you can see the ratings there. Any questions? I know I went through that pretty quickly, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if anybody has any.
Is that anything we can do to improve the drinking water?
And there's a lot we could do.
I mean, without going
Really expensive, but and it's just a matter of personal taste. I mean,
yeah.
I think the water's great.
Well, I take good, but only thing I got to complain is I got 3 commodes in the house. My commode, it said we started putting that new stuff in, I'd clean it about every other day.
Really?
It just looked like mud on it. And then when I washed dishes, I had a white drainer, and I went and bought a dark one, not near as big. I couldn't find, but I had to wash that thing every 2 days. It just, like when the water settles, it's, and what that new stuff we put in is causing it. And
I mean,
I see lots of people buying bottled water. When I was at Fort Bliss, well, they said, don't drink the water in Mexico. Well, we didn't go down there to drink water. But I see lots of Spanish people buying the bottled water, and it makes me, it's ours worse than Mexico.
Yeah. I don't know.
But, I have no problem with the taste of it myself.
I guess everybody's tastes are different, so some people
yeah.
aren't going to like it, some do, so. But I can tell you it's safe to drink. That's the important thing. Anything else? I think that concludes my little part there, Mr. Chairman.
All right. That brings us now to item number 12, which is executive session. Do I hear a motion we go into executive session, return to public session, call the chair?
Second.
They raise your right hand. That's gonna be pass also.
Judith, the goal is to get all of these settlement documents signed